Hello, hello. So, I'm going to speak real quickly about something that I just thought about. And when it comes to the humans, listen, I'm going to say this: humans don't exist any longer. And you know what? A human was the lowest level of the soul. What we look at that look like people these days, they're lower than humans. And humans was the lowest level of the soul. So most people don't got lower than a human. That means they're soulless. Soulless. And some people never had one from the beginning because there's a lot of people who are what you call NPCs or whatever. Like this is a virtual reality, you know. But anyway, I want to talk about how I'm just no longer going to have that what you would call human emotion or I'm not going to have a heart for people anymore. And when I say that, I'm not saying be cold and stuff like that. I'm saying is when somebody show you who they are, believe them and I'm not going to feel nothing for them. When it comes to what we call people, because I believe people are mostly robots and they don't know it, right? You know, it took me a considerable amount of work until I got to that point to return to true self. You know, a lot of people are robots. They don't know they are. And I'm really probably want to say 97% of people who think they're actually human beings are robots and they don't know it. Since 2020, that was a population control right there, okay? Just in case people didn't know, that was the depopulation, turning people into robots. People are robots and don't know they are robots. People think their thoughts are theirs. People think those emotions belong to them. They don't. But I want to say this. I'm not going to any longer have any kind of feelings towards people as far as if somebody do something grimy, I'm not going to expect anything different. I'm only going to expect who they are and what they are, and I'm only going to believe what they show me, not what they potential is, not what could have happened in their childhood. Oh, with that little child, that little girl, that little boy deep inside, I don't care about what's deep inside of anybody because everybody done been through something. I don't care about that at all. Making excuses. At this point, I am no longer... Literally, I'm not into giving people the benefit of the doubt. You know why? Because I'm not the first person to say this, but now you got to get into knowing. You got to get into knowing at this point, and I really hope there's some grace left because getting into knowing means there's no room for there's hardly any room for error. When you got to get into knowing, there's very little room for error. So when it comes to people, I can't deal with the benefit of the doubt any longer. The intuition got to be strong. The discernment has to be strong. I ain't into that. Well, you know, I just give out the goodness of my heart. No, whatever. No, I can't deal with people like that no more. I done seen too much wickedness in people to give them that any longer. People do not exist. Most of them are robots, and so they have no emotions. They have no compassion. A lot of people is just so evil. Some of the stuff I've seen, people. So I saw something recently. Like I was looking at somebody and how she was just like kind of done wrong listening to her story and people don't want to, you know, respond to her, you know. It's just like, and they're acting like she don't have any reason to feel any kind of way about it. You see what? People don't exist anymore. They are gone, and I realize it's been grimy like that. But I'm talking about the depopulation is already complete. I'm going to just say it's really complete. But people got a certain amount of time before it's locked and sealed. Let me say that. People got a certain amount of time. I don't know how long that is. But people have a certain amount of time before it's locked and sealed. Okay, so I have nothing for... I'm not going to call it humanity. Humanities don't exist. They're gone. Humanity don't exist. There's only few real people left in the world, and what we think is just walking around. They're robots, they're programs, they're not real. So I have nothing left for people. I've seen too much coldness and lack of compassion for me to ever think this is a human being. Dogs do better than that. Like if I want to feel all warm and gooey inside, I'll play with a little baby. Like little babies, little kids, because they're innocent, right? Now, when they grow up, that's a different story. I'm not gonna play with them no more, because people get further into their ego as they get older. When they in like kids and playing, they're not in their ego. They're closer to their true self. So kids, animals, And trees, definitely, the trees should come first. The trees. Nature comes first. What was I thinking? What was I thinking? Nature is first. I need to go play around in nature. But it don't have to be no physical place because this is a virtual reality after all. So you don't have to go and travel nowhere unless you just happen to be around it. But see, it's not about living in the woods. It's not about living in the country. I'm from Tuskegee, Alabama. People over there evil as hell. It's not about going to the woods and let's just go. No, it needs to be in your heart. I said it before, but I got new subscribers and it was so many videos ago because when I get on the road and I have time, I do 2 or 3 videos, if not more a day. So like that video is so old, I don't know where to find it. But I said that before. The nature has to be in your heart. It's not about going to a place. I done been to so many places. Jamaica, you can go to parts of Africa, and you can see the most beautiful parts of nature. But when you got evil ass people, a person that stays there with an evil ass motherfucking closed, lack of compassion heart, that fucking tree ain't doing shit for them. You hear me? That tree ain't doing nothing for them. If they evil as hell anyway. Okay, so it's not about being just in nature. This is a virtual reality, and I'm getting to the point to learn. You make of it what you can, but what you will. But you got to learn how the virtual reality works, though. You got to know where you are. Yeah. There's somebody else messing with these programs and programming people into different folks' consciousness, and they think stuff happened in their life that didn't ever happen. It's a program somebody decided to put into them. Because you got other people that want to control consciousness and they on their way because people have become robots. So now they can drag you. I said before that I popped out of apps. That's how I realized, oh my goodness, I'm glad I woke up to see that. I've been through some hell to do so much work on myself to see that, man, I've been in apps. I popped out of apps. Then I happened to see a black laptop computer. Like, what the world? Is this what they pull people into and we don't even know? And how long has this been going on? Since COVID? Since 2020? The depopulation? Because you pull somebody's consciousness into a laptop, a computer, they ain't no longer human. Like they've been AIs, they've been robots. How you pull a consciousness into an app? Like they're a cartoon character. Okay? So yeah, but yeah, that's all I was going to say is that I just have I have no emotions for people any longer. I don't have hate for them. I don't have anger for them. I don't have nothing for them any longer. Because people, I said this before, they ain't real. I mean, the lack of compassion, the increase in narcissism been around. And narcissism has always reigned supreme. Narcissism has been doing that for a long time. It's just like really gotten bad where everybody can see it, but it's been like that. Okay? Because what's going on at the top, what's at the top trickles down to the bottom. So now you got to deal with what's at the top. Because people are a reflection. What we see in the people that we want to call narcissistic, they're just what you call the symptom of a bigger problem. And so that means what you see, the symptom that's in people that's all narcissistic, then something at the very top is narcissistic. And I don't mean the president either. I don't mean, I'm talking about, I don't want to go too far. Okay? I don't want to go too much on that. At the top, the supreme. Well, who people think is supreme, because I think nature is supreme, okay, but who the other one that people felt like was supreme, okay. Yeah, that supreme one. I don't know how much I don't know how much that supreme one like nature, okay. It seems to be anti-nature. Anyway, So I can't with people. I've seen too much just in my personal life. I realized we got shadows to clear out and we can control our own reality. But the fact that I have a shadow because of stuff that happened to me that I'm trying to still process and understand how to, understand how to not just deal with it, remove it. I ain't trying to keep shit. Remove it. But It's amazing how that can control how people treat you a lot of times. And that goes to show that ain't nothing real. That means your inner world is real and nothing else. Because if your shadow and the things that happen to you that shaped your reality can control how other people treat you, and you realize that because you do a certain amount of work on yourself and raise your vibration or whatever, it's not even about, let me say, it's not even about really raising your vibration that high, because if you raise your vibration, it only lasts temporarily until you remove those little impressions that's stuck in that shadow. Raising the vibration only does so good. The shadow needs to be dealt with. Okay, it needs to be dealt with. You can't get around that. So you got these real deep impressions left in your doggone shadow from childhood or whatever happened. And raising your vibration, you're just going to fall right back down. That's what's going to happen. You're going to fall right back down because that shit is still there holding you down. It's like an anchor. You get so far, like something tied around your ankle, but you don't realize it is. This string is like 100 feet long. So you moving on up. Next thing you know, you can't go no further, and you're going back down because you can't go no further up. It's because that stuff, it's like it's heavy and it's still there. So you can't go but so high. So like deal with that. Before I just constantly raise a vibration, deal with that. Because that's what's controlling your life. That right there. Most people don't want to deal with their shadow. They rather dump their shit on you. I've dealt with that my whole life. Everything just about everything, 99% of the shit that's in my shadow is from what somebody else didn't want to deal with their own stuff. 99% of what's in my shadow is because somebody else, the mother, the father, the brother, I don't call them that anymore because I realize this is a virtual reality and they're not real. But still, the program, the mother, the father, the brother, whoever, none of them wanted to deal with their stuff since I was a child. So most of the stuff that I have in my shadow is because they've been so wicked. So wicked. It's not even that they were bad parents or bad whatever. They're into that work and they're into cults. So that's the kind of stuff that I need to deal with. It'll be different if I just, okay, I grew up and you were a bad parent. Okay, fine. But if I haven't been living there in the last 25 years, okay, well, okay, whatever. Work on, release that shit. Now this stuff is, this is work that's been going on since I was a baby. And I finally grown. It's like, okay, but I can do things with that too. I'm not gonna make that a big deal. I'm just saying. It is a big deal until you realize what to do. Then it's not a big deal, okay? It's a big deal until you realize what to do about it, because it is a fucking big deal. Somebody been messing and tampering with you since you were a baby, and now you in your inner world, you trying to figure out why all this stuff going on is because they tampered with you. And they put all their burdens on you, because anytime they got that much hate for you and doing all this stuff towards you, that's their baggage they throwing on you. So most of the stuff that people carry around do belong to somebody else. And they need to get it back. And if they can't deal with their own stuff, they gonna just die. That's just period. They die. Or what you call it, unalive. They just need to be unalived. If they can't deal with their own baggage, they got to throw it on you. And so you can keep getting heavy and heavy and heavy and you never rise up. Oh, they could just go on ahead and die. I can't be carrying your stuff for you. Because who's going to be bearing me? Who's going to hold me up? Nobody. Nobody. I've seen too much cruelty. I'm glad that I've seen the few nice people I've seen, but I've seen too much cruelty. Just too much cruelty. And I would say it's my shadow, but too many people are saying it though. But too many people say it. And it's not even people that I meet face to face. It's just people in general. I don't care if I look at YouTube. I don't care where I look at. People in general. I don't care what country they come from. In general. It's a problem. Okay? And I know I'm not going to focus on that because, once you realize how things work, you realize those things don't have control. But yeah, I'm done. Whatever type of love I want to have and little warmness in the heart is going to be for the nature. It's going to be for the animals. It's going to be for the little babies. No older than 5 or 6. I'm going up to 6, maybe 7, and that's it. Okay? Other than that, no love. Okay? I can't give no emotion to no person. A person will not have my emotions. They will not have my trust. When it comes to people, that discernment just need to be sharp. You got to know stuff for what it is. You got to see people for who they are. It ain't about no giving nobody no chances. They'll kill your ass. Okay? Give somebody a chance, give them the benefit of the doubt, you dead somewhere. People are evil as hell. People are evil. They've been taken over already. In their mind program because they think they are alive and they're not. They think they are alive and they're not. And living means connected to, have some kind of connection to your true self. And people have lost that connection. Since 2020, they've really lost it. Like, they're almost reaching a point where you won't be able to get there. But people think they're alive and they're really dead. Like the Church of Laodicea, is that it, that church? But anyway, that's it. And I will talk later. I have a video coming up about Blac Chyna. But what I saw with her, and I have never been a person who paid attention to Blac Chyna. You know what? I said all that in my video that I'm going to post soon. So anyway, I'm not going to rehash that. Anyway, I'll talk later.